Welcome back to Lightmatter. Shut up, Virgil. I don't care. Let's listen to more dev commentary.
This is one of the first puzzles we made a long time ago, where it started out as a little sketch, and then we created a really primitive gray boxed version of it, where we actually called it moving wall. It was just a wall moving back and forth and some lamps. And we did that in a phase where we were creating a vertical slice for the game within the first half year of the project.
Yeah, so when you make games, it's always about like how do you find resources to continue working on games, because they take a long time to develop. And when we began this project, we had no money, so we kind of had to go out and seek investment and funding. So we spent the first half year, maybe a year, just making a lot of puzzles like proof of concepts. And then you make this thing that is called a vertical slice, which is basically like a wide array of like things to show that the game will contain, but not in a polished state. More like, okay, this is a puzzle game. We will show you 10 different kinds of puzzles. And this was one of those puzzles that we took, and we put it in with a lot of other puzzles, and made one demo that we showcased to an investor. And when they saw this, they felt this was an interesting concept, and we started talking back and forth in the hope of like getting investments in the game so we could continue working on it. But it took a long time, so this old prototype underwent a lot of iterations. And like when you look at it now and when you look at back then, of course it's the same concept with a moving wall, but it looks so much differently. It looks so much nicer now, and it has also a bigger purpose, like this. What is it? Decontaminator?
Yeah.
No, not what is it?
It's a mineral decontaminator. Yeah.
Exactly. So.
Yeah, I think it's a fun example of how we like the narrative kind of creates things, or how we in the beginning it was just a wall, and now it actually has a purpose in the story. And we have several voice lines where Virgil talks about this thing. If you actually stay in the level a bit and listen to the in-betweeners. And I think that the original, it was always meant as a one of the initial puzzles, like an introductory puzzle. In the vertical slice, it was also one of the first ones, and it was to get some timing elements into the game without it being twitchy, without you having to be really fast, but where you have to think about it, stop and think about it. And it was also, I remember back then we didn't have many puzzles where things moved. The game looked very static. Yeah. So that's also where it contributed a bit. Yeah.
As far as I remember, in the original version, there was actually not a gap behind the wall. You could actually take the lamp with you. Or I don't know if you could, but at that point we found out that having multiple lamps close to each other, it just felt really unelegant. It was not nice. Like, we really want you to use the lamps in an efficient way, so that's why we put in a gap. But then it introduced the other problem of, like, players didn't know that you're not supposed to jump with a lamp. So that meant that we had to have other levels before this to kind of like teach you the fact that the lamps cannot be jumped with. And like through a lot of playtesting, I think we got it now. It seems like most people understand it, but if you take the lamp and fall down, then it's okay because the checkpoint just puts you back. But small things like that, it takes a lot of playtesting to find.
Yeah, I think this puzzle reinforces the idea that you can't jump with the lamp.
Yeah,
and I remember when you like the volumetric lighting that we have, and when you target point a lamp towards the wall and you see the light rays come through. We've used that shot for many things.
That was some of the early GIFs we put up online, and it just looks nice.
Yes.
Yeah, it does look nice. That is true. Like, this mechanic, the mechanics that are in play in this game are handled very well. I do kind of feel like there could have been more of them. Like, we have lamps and we have photon things, emitters, whatever, the like crystal balls, and that's kind of it, isn't it? I don't know if there's any other like significant mechanic that I'm misremembering. I guess the like light sensors is another one, and maybe there's more. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe there could have been one or two more like unique mechanics that would interplay with the other ones in different levels. But I don't know. I guess that's fine. I wonder if I did get all of the Virgil lines dialogue in here. I feel like I've been sticking around in most levels for a while, just testing things out and hearing a lot from Virgil, but maybe there's still lines I haven't heard. Probably. But I guess that's that. Let's move on. Was I gonna say something else? Was there something about an achievement? No, I don't remember. Excellent.
So this level had an interesting
What?
story when we
Til gode
first
bevis?
used Lego. What was the point or the idea of this level?
When we were designing this level, we were very much in the phase of making puzzles where the player has to predict that some things will happen. So the basic concept for this puzzle was leaving a lamp in the dark and predicting that you might need it later.
Yeah, because we saw some players, some players had a hard time understanding that it's only the player who cannot stand in shadows. Like you can leave something out in the shadow and then get back to it later. So you could place a lamp and then change some other part of the level, and then depending on where you put that lamp beforehand, you could use that to actually solve a puzzle.
Yes. And it turned out that this puzzle was much harder than we originally thought it would be. Even after we worked on the readability of the puzzle and really made everything easy to understand, then it was still difficult for people to play. And in the beginning, they could spend 15-20 minutes completing this puzzle.
Yeah, and one thing when you design puzzles is very difficult to know if the puzzle itself is difficult or if it is just the readability of it, like if it is too cluttered.
Or if people are just
remember
stupid.
When we made it in the first iteration, it was very difficult to read and like where's the goal, where I'm supposed to go.
Yeah.
And over time we kind of like took things away and made it simpler and simpler to focus on the core part of the puzzle. And now it's this level where we actually just have like two main parts of the level, where you have a lamp with the moving platform and then you have a lamp on the other side, and there's a gap so you cannot get those two lamps next to each other. So you have to figure out how can I use them to my advantage. And that was quite interesting to work with.
Yeah, even to the readability part, I remember that we had a version of it where you start and you had an overview of the level before you went into the level, because that was our way of showing this is where the exit is.
Yeah.
But that was a very primitive way of showing it.
Yeah.
And now we think we've built up the level so it's more obvious where the exit is.
Yeah, and when we made puzzles for this game, we have never made puzzles before. So for us, it was an interesting process to just learn, like the idea of finding the idea for a puzzle and then making it look good and be easy to like read. There are two very different processes. Where when we made this, it was very ugly and very difficult to navigate, but we had a core concept that was interesting. So we kind of had to just keep on polishing and making more and more simple, and using a lot of playtesters to see where does this make sense and what could we do to like make it easier to navigate.
I remember we had probably 3 iterations on in Lego before we started building it.
Yeah.
And when we test in Lego, we test internally, but then when we build the level, which usually takes a day or so, then we start testing externally.
Yeah, and the thing with doing in Lego is when you do it in physical Lego, you see it from above, and that's very different from when you actually play it inside the game itself. So the overview that we felt we had, a new player doesn't have that. So we really have to simplify everything, and that goes for like all levels in the game. That the first iteration is always very difficult to read, especially when you're not a designer or a graphical person. Like we are just programmers doing this and learning how to make puzzles. There was also some part of the last part of this level has some story-related stuff where we tried to convey some things with this bridge that collapsed, but it underwent a couple of iterations. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So the idea with having a bridge that collapses in the end was to kind of show that this place is the facility is crumbling. Things are getting destroyed. So that's a thing we planned early that would happen.
Oh, come on!
And also so that you feel like the story like shifts, like things like unexpected things happen. But it also became kind of a joke. Like,
yeah.
Internally, we always like if someone was late to work or something, we would say, "Oh, the bridge collapsed."
Yeah, one of our teammates, he actually lives across the bridge, and once in a while it has to open so the boats can go through, and he has to wait for like 10 minutes because of the bridge. So that was kind of a funny joke.
Yeah, and also because it's a little silly, a little funny that nothing works in Lightmatter technologies. Everything breaks.
Yeah, I believe this was one of the first parts of the game where we said this is going to be like quote unquote a set piece moment with like things happening, like Virgil being a little annoyed by this bridge and like it collapses and the audio and stuff like that. And when we actually got it in and the physics and stuff, it was really nice to see, because beforehand the levels felt very empty and very static, and now we actually have some more dynamic story-related content in the game.
Yeah, and we wanted Virgil.
It's not happening.
We wanted to have that Virgil is a very collected and despite the circumstances, pretty happy guy. But we want to like build up that he can get very angry. And this is like the first step in that direction, very small step. That he like blames you for because you're a health and safety inspector, and no matter what he does, even though his stuff is approved by inspectors, it still doesn't work. And we also took the opportunity to introduce James, the security manager here, so that to show that James he like there's someone else outside of this facility too, and to have like a little sidekick for Virgil, and this felt like a fitting introduction for that.
All right, there we go. I've been keeping busy, trying to play around, seeing if I can figure something out. Shit, I think that would have worked. But yeah, once again, most of this commentary, I don't really have anything to add, because it's just, yeah, it's not really any like major revelations. I mean, the bats were a revelation. I never knew about the bats. I don't know why. It didn't even like occur to me that there were bats around. So that's cool. But yeah. Was there anything else? I feel like I was thinking something while listening and then I forgot about it. Eh. Not really. Futilely. Is that even a word? In vain. I tried in vain to get across here. I really want to do that, but I'm not sure that's possible. You can't stand on this, you can't stand on that, you can't... Oh! Okay. That was weird. Oh, and it saved that position, oddly enough. But yeah, everything else here is not physical, so there we go.
Let me figure out your options. I really don't have time.
Okay, I have to try this.
New door will be open soon
Damn.
enough. A moment, Inspector. Yes, James, this is Virgil. I need... James, calm down, James. Just punch something. We will find your cat later.
Nope.
Now focus. I need details for a new evacuation route. The inspector...
So what actually happened to Lux? It was like his cat is gone, and then Virgil just has him the entire time and is like basically stealing his cat. What's up with that?
Plan out the rest of the route and do it faster than last time. Goodbye, James. Inspector, the door is open.
Great.
Run along now.
Running. And there was nothing else here. There's a random lamp here that you can't get to. Yeah? Yeah, oh well.
Yeah, so one element in this game
Short one.
is dexterity-based puzzle.
Also, I was gonna say about the last one, what the hell was the title? Til gode bevis, or whatever it was? I mean, it's probably pronounced differently in Danish, but what would you call that? It's like almost a coupon, I guess? Like, a proof that you are allowed something. Maybe? Not even sure, but they didn't elaborate on why it was... Oh, god damn it. Yeah, I blue screened again. Now I need to turn developer commentary on once more. And kind of a good thing, because I was talking about how the previous level was called like a proof of something, that you are owed something or whatever. And they didn't elaborate on why it was called that. But in doing so, I started the next one and then I missed the beginning. He was like saying something about how they chose. I mean, you'll hear, and I want to hear it again because yeah, I wasn't sure what they were referring to. So let's go again.
Yeah, so one element in this game is dexterity-based puzzles, and for a long time we were very unsure if we actually wanted it or not, because for us, Lightmatter is a game where you have to think and like solve puzzles, but doing it should not be the difficult part. So even if you're not good at like first-person controls, you should still be able to complete a puzzle if you can like think and solve the puzzle up in your head. The controls should not be what is preventing you from doing it. That being said, we also thought it was a little like too obvious not to have moving shadows. So I guess this level is like a good way to kind of have something where you have to understand that a shadow coming close to you and you have to kind of jump over it while it approaches you. But doing it should not be too difficult. But I guess you came up with this initial concept, and you had some ideas when you built it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wanted to try making a puzzle where we had shadows that were moving, and also one of my ideas was to try to reuse the level in. The puzzle level in more than one level. So you use the shadows in the bottom. Yeah. And you use this that you need the speed of the shadow to
jump over them.
Yeah, you need that because the shadow is actually too big if it was just still. And then the platforms that are moving, you use them also when you need to get the lamp, so you need to jump on those and
and it's really nice that you actually like use the same platforms one more time and put the lamp on top of it. I remember when I played the first Eureka moment is like you have to jump over the shadows while they approach you. That was really nice. Yeah. But then when you get up there with the lamp, it's like, oh, I have to use the platforms again, but now in a different way. And then you also see that, oh, okay, the lamp can actually stand in the shadows. So you can just place it and then jump over and then grab it again. I thought that was really a nice experience.
But we were very careful about doing dex puzzles. Yeah. So also because it is a puzzle game, and we don't want it to stress the player with very difficult decks.
Yeah. It is very difficult to design stuff like this because ideally we want to challenge the players, but we also had a feeling that this could be a game for more than just the average gamer. It could be something that a broader audience would like to play, but the thing is, moving around in first person is just difficult if you have never played a game before, and jumping is even more difficult. So we want everyone to be able to complete the game, but we also want to have challenge. So hopefully most people can complete this, but we have tested it so much as possible, and we haven't seen people having problems with this particular level.
That is a factor of this game that I actually hadn't really considered, but that's definitely true. This game, I always keep saying it, that like, oh, there's some rudimentary platforming, it's very basic, nothing hard, and that goes against their inspirations of like Portal and I don't know what else, other puzzle games like that. where Portal actually isn't that easy on a mechanical level to just play through. You have to have good timing, you have to like have relatively okay aim, and sometimes you need to be able to aim at places where you want to put the portals within a not too long time and stuff like that. It's sometimes a sort of half challenging game in that sense, not only in the mind thinking solving puzzle sense, but Lightmatter is a lot more basic in that sense, and I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. I guess it does open it up to a wider audience, but the question is, will that wider audience still find it enjoyable, or will they actually be interested? And by doing that, does it compromise the, like, excitement of the game? I don't know. All I can say is that I really like games that have some more, like, mechanically challenged things, but maybe that's not what a puzzle game should be, really. That could just be a pure platformer or an adventure game or whatever. Hard to say. So yeah, just kind of an interesting concept there. That's one of the first times I feel like the developer commentary actually brought up an interesting topic that doesn't have a clear answer. Not that developer commentary should do that, but anyway, that was good. Also, while listening, I did remember that on that topic, they were saying before that like one of the earliest levels that people got stuck on was the like level with 2 gates that you have to... The one with the bats, the bat cave at the core, right? Was that the one they said that about? And I don't remember getting stuck too much on those levels. The one that I remember getting stuck on first was the one with the light sensor that we'll get to. I don't know if I got stuck on some other one, but that'll be interesting to see what they say about, because I found that level very difficult. I wonder if they have something to say about it. So yeah, here we are. Is that a, like, heater or something? It's just endlessly drilling the crystals. What is that? Oh, did they have, like, canaries or whatever here? In all the caves? Is that why there's a bunch of empty bird cages? Huh. Well, that's kind of grim. Assuming the birds are dead. Also, what does happen if you just fall down? This is one of the few, like, actual falls that... Shit, I can't do anymore. Wait, retry. Oh god. Wait, where am I?
So
Oh my god, no, stop! That's not where I want to be. God damn it, now I think I have to replay the entire previous level. Where was I? It was like this one. I was here, but I have to redo 11. Damn. I'll do that quick.
The idea was to try to reuse the
Let's
level
try it.
Yeah, the puzzle level.
So right before the end.
Level,
I fall. No, I can't fall off. I thought I could fall off. Didn't I fall off before? I guess that was before you entered this tunnel. I just want to see like what happens if you fall like a noticeable distance. But I don't think I can do it anymore.
Yeah, you need that because the shadow is actually too big if it was
Damn it.
Just, still.
That's a shame.
And then the platforms that are moving, you use them also when you need to get
too
the
bad.
ramp. So you need to jump on those and...
Alright, now, wait, can I just, like, go in here, do that? Yeah, it cuts off, great, and then we just turn it back on again. And then I can continue without having to listen to the rest of that.
So this
Oh god. I don't feel like I actually have time for this entire one. Yeah, I might just leave it there, actually. And then we'll do this one next time instead. Because with that blue screen, it's kind of hard to time things. I'm pretty sure it's about that time. I should end it off. Did I have any closing thoughts? Not really. Can't remember anything. So I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Guess what happens next time? More developer commentary. See you then. Bye-bye.